And the reason why our reactivity, it's an incredible coping mechanism. The reason why we get so reactive is because what's really underneath all of the anger and the rah and the withdrawal and all of that is the deepest sadness and melancholy. This is what we're afraid that we're actually going to walk around looking like. Because the things that we say to ourselves, the stories that we tell ourselves that are not true about ourselves, are so awful. Really. One of my shadow beliefs is I don't matter. Really think about that for a minute, that that's somehow walking around inside of me. How painful is that? Other shadow beliefs are I'm not capable. I'm invisible. I'm unlovable. I'm unworthy. All of these stories, these myths, these beliefs that we have created about ourselves based on our interactions in the world, based on something that one random third grade teacher said to you. Mrs. Dollinger, she comes up a lot in my worksheets, said to me, and then all of a sudden I believe it about myself. And I take it in and I absorb it and I actually am living from that place. So of course I don't want to acknowledge that. Well, who wants to acknowledge that I actually think I don't matter? Like, ugh, I don't want to acknowledge that. So I push it away. I push it outside of myself. Because the truth is that for most of us, unless you're an incredibly enlightened being, and they are here, is that when the way that we actually think we are is that we are broken. That when we look in the mirror of ourselves, what we see is a brokenness. What we see is something that we have to fix, that we have to make better. And especially that we have to hide the brokenness from everybody else because we don't want anybody to see it, right? We don't want anybody to know how broken we actually are. So we call this the shadow. And I love this image of this little girl because this is what happens to ourself. We are who we are, and yet out there in the world, we think we're some monster. We think that there's something really scary about us, that we think that there's something really wrong with us, inherently, something. And that is not what we believe in unity. In unity, we believe that we are made in the image and likeness, that we are wholeness itself, that available to each one of us is that perfection that is imperfectly perfect in our human expression. That is what we know and we believe, or at least it's what we say we believe. But when the rubber meets the road, when we actually are caught up in the story in our life, those myths, those beliefs about who we are become so active. And the pain and the uncomfortability of them means that we throw them out there in the world instead.